Do you have any just huge upsets in round one? I mean, is there some like mid-major that's just looking at you, just screaming at you right now?
You know what? I mean, I don't know if it would be huge. I'm like everyone else. I looked the 12-5 route here. Listen, Utah State is a 10 seed upsetting Missouri. College of Charleston, everyone's talked about here, a 30-plus win team. A lot of, what you look for, experience, guard play, older teams, stuff like that. So I'm looking around trying to see. Besides that, I wouldn't qualify. Like, listen, I didn't get bold enough to go and try and do any sort of like 16-1 UMBC nonsense this season. But I'm riding the 12-5 matchups kind of like everybody else.
I respect it. Well, the 8-9s, man. I mean, those are games, we want you to gamble on games you want to, but looking at this West Virginia, Maryland, Auburn, Iowa, I feel like they're pick'ems to me. Now Maryland does struggle winning away from home. They're at a 2.5-point underdog to West Virginia with Huggy Bear. You liking the Mountaineers or the Terrapins there? Turtles versus people in mountains with guns.
Yeah, no, it feels weird to pick Turtles in that matchup just because I fear the mountain people with guns. I've been up to West Virginia and seen that in person one too many times. But yeah, rocking with the Terps on this one, mostly to support my friend Dominique Foxworth, proud Maryland Terrapin, and to just put good karma into the universe because I need them to really bottom out this lacrosse season for my Irish.
All right, I do want to ask about a couple. I want to ask about some close ones. I mean, we can sit here and look at the 24-point spreads between Alabama and Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, or crowds with Christ, whoever that is. But Penn State, Texas A&M. Penn State is a 2.5-point underdog. It's like the Spider-Man gif with these teams. I mean, they're like the exact same thing. Are you leaning a certain way? Because I like Texas A&M on the money line, -145, and I've got a little parlay with that, Kennesaw State money line, and Baylor money line. How are you kind of feeling about Penn State, Texas A&M?
I'm feeling with you on Texas A&M. Mostly it's recency bias, watching a game that I thought actually looked like it would be at home in the Big Ten West between Penn State and Northwestern in the Big Ten tournament, where I kept looking up and kept seeing 6-6 for the entirety of the first half. That's not something that I feel good about trusting. I understand that a lot of people will tell you that, hey, at least when it comes to seeding, the recency of what you've done isn't all that factored in and it's set to go, but it affects how I feel about you coming into play in the tournament. So that sort of anemic offense isn't something that sits right with me.
No, I'm with you. Again, I just think Texas A&M, I think it's going to be a rock fight, a dog fight. Texas A&M knows how to win those. Penn State does too, but I'm going to rock with the SEC team there. Now, this is the one that to me, I feel like if Florida Atlantic would have gotten any other team than Memphis, I would have picked them to win the first round. But they're +115 to win, so it's not like it's crazy. Do you have a feeling either way, FAU or Memphis? Because this is a game I will bet on and probably take that over, actually.
I felt bad about this one too, but Memphis is just rolling it. Like, you had one really good team hot rolling in against the other good team hot rolling in here. I got to ride with Memphis here. And I understand part of this too would have been an easy spot to go either way, just because in the next round I have either one of them losing to Purdue, but I would probably rock with Memphis. It sucks because you do look in the seeding for a lot of this for a chance. We all want to see something resembling a Cinderella, and FAU I think would loosely qualify on that. It's not a double-digit seed, but it would at least feel fun. But no, I'm going Memphis here.
Definitely. All right, Kenny.
All right, Mike, let's go to the South here. I've watched Alabama play more than any other team in the tournament. Look, they have experienced guards with Sears and Quinterly. Bediako's much improved from last year. Clowney, 6'10", and then Brandon Miller is the real deal. Do you think that they are going to be able to hold off the distractions from what happened this year in Tuscaloosa to be able to come out of the South region? Or do you think a team like Arizona, maybe another heavy hitter in there, do you think someone can press Alabama for the South?
Yeah, I have Alabama making it out of the South. I have Alabama in the national championship in my bracket. I just think that when you talk about that, the ability to weather the storm, I mean, we saw that week one, night one for Brandon Miller and that club. Now, it was a knockdown, drag-out fight, but that game against South Carolina, the week that all of this news came about, Brandon Miller had 41 points and they won that game in overtime. Like, it wasn't just they went out and blew the doors off. It was, even in that game, there was the basketball adversity on the court that they had to go through, let alone the young man obviously having to balance a lot more than that off the court, and Nate Oates and that team having to really try and get a handle on that. So, yeah, I think they've shown that they're able to compartmentalize a lot of what's happened and play really compelling basketball, and I expect them to do just that.
Yeah, and they've proven they can win when he scores 41 points, and they win in overtime, like you're saying. But they beat Houston when Brandon Miller scored 8 points. I think he was held scoreless in a half. They've proven they can win even when Quinterly goes, turns turnover prone sometimes. They've won when Bediako's gotten in foul trouble. So that, to me, it seems like Alabama can come out of the South. I agree with you there. So if they do and they're in the championship, who do you have them playing? I mean, the Midwest is fascinating right now because Houston and Miami and Texas, all those teams are really great. Houston and Miami dealing with some injuries. And then from the West, that's what I have going chalk right now.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 right there in the Sweet 16 with Kansas, UConn, Gonzaga, and UCLA. They're just very experienced teams who also play balanced basketball. What are you thinking on that side of the bracket?
Yeah, that's actually right where I am too on that 1 through 4. And I have Kansas coming out on that side. Like, I understand it's incredibly unfun, but and we don't know what effect this can have. Obviously, the last time we saw them getting dog walked in the championship game in the Big 12 by Texas, but they're going to be whole. Bill Self is back. We're glad to hear that first and foremost.
Yeah.
For Bill Self and the fact that he's healthy after dealing with what he went through. But, with Kansas, too, I think part of me always roots for this team to do well just because of the giant money cannon, double middle finger bleep you to the NCAA that they continue to represent after that probe. So, yeah, I've got them going past UConn. I got them going past the Zags and the Elite Eight and making it to the Final Four in the title game.
Hey guys, make sure you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and sign up with our code CRAIN. That's CRAIN, because new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly, win or lose. That is only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code CRAIN, CRAIN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details, guys. There's a lot of underdogs that we like this weekend. There's a couple that I'm looking at that a lot of people aren't talking about. I like Kennesaw State.
You do?
Over Xavier. Yes, I like Missouri over Utah State. That's going off at least, it was plus 105 the last time I saw it. I don't know if it flipped. And also, Iowa's an underdog to Auburn. If they're hot shooting, that could present a problem. Which one's standing out to you?
I don't think there's any way Auburn loses that game. They got that one for sure. I'm looking at Pittsburgh and NC State.
Okay. You got NC State going, what, Sweet 16?
I have both of them going to the Sweet 16.
Wow, dangerous, man.
Yeah. I think NC State loses the first round. Watch out for whoever Alabama plays against. Who's it? Texas A&M?
CC?
Corpus
CC?
Christi. Community College.
Corpus Christi.
Yeah. Remember that one Accepted movie? They all got accepted in that college.
The South Harmon Institute of Technology.
South Harmon Institute of Technology. I heard they're pretty good this year. Better watch out.
We'll see. They just wrote on the board NCAA tournament win. But make sure you use that code CRAIN for that exclusive offer.
Wait, so you have Kansas and Alabama in the title?
Yep.
That's what I have. What's your final score?
I have final score Kansas 69, Alabama 65.
Okay, a little bit lower scoring. I think those teams can really put up the points. I have 84-80, man.
A run track meet.
84-80, Kansas over Bama in the championship.
All right, Blanye.
All right, Mike, first of all, the beer looks phenomenal as always. I got to get your little tips and tricks on that. We're going to go to the Booster Club because they want to know. Paul Huff wants to know, what do you think about the Kentucky Wildcats this year? And do you think they can make a little bit of a run?
I thought that until we got the Sister Jean pick in there. Now I'm not sure how that really goes, because normally the God's on our side thing works very well. I worry about that when it's Kentucky and we know that they're just out here trying to do it however they need to. That's not a program that seems like it needs the favor of the Lord. And so I am a little worried about them making a run.
Yeah, I saw that picture of Sister Jean. Did you see that picture of Sister Jean?
Don't.
What?
Don't.
She just looks 300 years old. I would love to live that long. That'd be awesome. You know how many March Madnesses she's seen?
A lot.
You know how much madness she's seen? She's seen World War II and the iPhone, dog. Like, think about that.
All right, let's go to Matty Ice, 1994, also known as Nighthawk. Question for Mike. He says, how come no one seems to be on Gonzaga this year, unlike other years in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I think relative to their standard in the regular season, what we hold them to as far as a standard is perfection, is total dominance. So when you see the God King bleed a little bit, all of a sudden we're going to downgrade some. Like, they're still an incredible offense. And I think that's still the reason a lot of people are worried about them come tournament time, is all the usual things you get out of that program are there. But in the regular season, if they're not flawless, all of a sudden we assume that something's very wrong.
Yeah, and I don't know if this Gonzaga team is as talented. I don't think they're as talented as the ones they've had in the past. The team they had with Timmy and Jalen Suggs and those guys, that was the best shot they had. Obviously, they lost to Baylor in the Natty. If TCU had Lampkin, I was going to pick TCU over him, but I don't know. It's just something about Gonzaga.
I still have him in the 8 over UCLA with the injury.
I've got him losing. I've got Gonzaga losing to UCLA in the Sweet 16. Again, it's just hard for me to trust a team that parents still work at the concession stand and there's volleyball lines on the court. I'm sorry, it's tough. I don't want to buy sour straws from Drew Timmy's mom and then take him to win the national.
I'd like to.
I kind of do want to buy sour straws.
He has sour straws?
Yeah, I'm getting those.
I want some.
Well, you know what? Fine, guys.
Let's go to Texas Ed. Hashtag Ask Mike. He wants to know, since the Final Four is in Houston, if Texas gets there, does the home court advantage propel them to a championship?
I would say no, but I also do think that that's like going to be incredible if it does happen, because we know the insane Texas machine. So I would love to see a bunch of burnt orange turn out there. I don't think it ultimately does the trick, because I have them losing to Kansas in a Big 12 championship game rematch, but I think it would be incredibly compelling theater. So, hook them.
Definitely. I want to see Texas A&M.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I have that too. I have Texas beating Texas A&M and Houston. So wait, who do you have in the East? Tell me you have Duke and we have the exact same Final Four.
I do not have Duke in the East. I have, let me see. I have Marquette coming out of that
Okay.
side.
Okay.
I got
Marquette, man.
Timmy B's high on Marquette, too.
Yeah.
I am hoping that Duke does make a run, because I feel like Filipinski is the exact kind of hateable Duke player that the world needs to rally around right now.
He's their hands, bro.
He's got that face.
Yeah.
He's he's giant good white guy at Duke. Like, it fits the mold.
For
I'm
sure.
sure he's a wonderful kid. It's nothing against him. This is just more what we need as a nation to heal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's exactly right. Is he could be the Christian Leitner that brings us all together.
Yeah.
It's the Kellen Moore syndrome. It's just, you look at that face, you can't help but hate him. Right? It's just,
What do you have against Kellen Moore?
Nothing. It's just, I don't have anything.
Hey, you know what Blaine,
something in his face.
You know what Blaine calls Kellen Moore? Shovel
What?
face.
Oh, man.
But look, I'm not the best looking guy either. He just looks like something from Hills Have Eyes. I mean, that's just all I'm saying.
Blaine
Wow.
just,
Did you have the Cowboys in the Final Four too?
yeah. What again? You want me to bring the doll back out? You want me to actually go get the doll?
Look, there's only one person who's going to be involved with the doll here.
It has. Look.
Now I have to take it to dinner, man.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You
Been
got to
through a
hear
lot.
about all the problems. But Mike, all right, let's get one more for Mike.
Steve Action Figure Frenzy wants to know, he says, question for Golic. I remember your dad always saying that he fills out multiple brackets. Are you breaking away from a little bit of family tradition this year?
Yeah, no, listen, I understand I risk losing my spot in the will based off my actions and my approach to March Madness this year. But listen, the sheets of integrity never always worked out that well for my dad anyway. I have seen him on the losing side of so many bets from that show. And so I figure at some point, if I don't want to end up recreating another butt photo or milking a cow or whatever comes up with this, I need to probably try and forge my own path ahead. And the single bracket method for this season seems like the way to do that.
There you go.
Yeah,
I love it, Mike.
It's like when you go to those restaurants and it's like a $300 meal, but they bring you a plate and it's like a scallop that's like touched with 3 like little drops of something. They're like, yeah, that'll be $300.
I don't go to those places.
I don't either.
I like more food.
I don't either.
More food.
Yeah, that's where you're taking the
about to
doll.
go to
though.
those
Yeah, well, she's on a diet. She can have that. I need more food for smaller price. You
What
know?
if I shot you with the paintball gun while you're out with the doll?
I'm never getting shot with a paintball gun. That's another bet that I lost in fantasy football. He has to shoot me 3 times in the back with a paintball gun, but I told him prior, because I knew he wouldn't do it, I'm not sourcing the paintball gun, and he still hasn't done
Yeah,
it.
Blaine,
Here we
Blaine
sit.
can't get the logistics
I'm just
down.
looming. I'm
No.
just looming.
No.
Cone
It's a
never knows
mental.
when it's coming.
It's a mental
Places
threat.
you can go and rent a paintball gun and get a hit in the back. Like, how far away are we talking? Because the back's not that bad.
Again, now
10 feet.
you're getting into these areas. You're asking very logical questions
10
that
feet,
weren't
Dave?
set. These parameters weren't set when the bets were
What
made.
would you like?
100 feet.
100
I won't even be able to
feet.
hit you.
Hope you're a good shot.
What, have a sniper
Why don't I
paintball
just
gun?
throw a beanie, baby?
Hope you're a good shot.
Put a 4-time scope on it and hope?
25 feet, I think, is reasonable.
We'll go 15 to 20.
You know what?
That's
How
a
about
reasonable
this? We
conversation.
let Ben Shapiro adjudicate fantasy football. Mike Golic, how far should I stand
far
from
should it
him
be,
for the
Mike?
paintball gun? And just remember, I like you a lot, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's being factored into the decision. I
Good.
just feel like you're gonna want him a little bit closer, because If his shot's off, then it might hit you in the back of the head. It might clip you in the back of the leg, which I think is going to hurt more. So I think 15 feet is probably the way to go.
Thank you. That's what,
yeah. You hit me in the back of the leg, like in the calf.
Hey.
Like
would you rather get stabbed or would you rather get hit in the shin with a razor scooter? Let's be honest.
Look, Mike Golic Jr. says 15 feet. I'll stand 15.
Stab me with a samurai sword.
I swear, that's the worst pain ever.
Scooter. Oh, without a doubt. But Mike Golic Jr., always fun having you on, my friend. Enjoy the madness. Tell everybody where they can find the Gojo Show and all the great work you do.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. At Gojo Show on Twitter is where you can follow for all the latest updates on what's going on with the show. You can obviously download, subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out. The DraftKings YouTube channel has a nice little Gojo with Mike Golic Jr. tab, so you can see our beautiful faces on there as well. We'll be locked in through all the madness. We'll be getting ready to go. We still got more NFL free agency to dive into. It's all deadly.
Hey, YouTube, do us a favor. We know the madness is here. You're going to be checking out your bracket all day, but if you got a little time, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, turn that notification bell button on as well. We really, really appreciate it, and it helps us drop more content for you guys to consume.